At the end of this lesson, you will be able to create a requisition, a simple requisition, using a contract company and their contract items. I have navigated to the Requisition Advanced screen by clicking on Procurement in the menu group and then expanded the Requisitions group of commands and menus and clicked on Requisitions Advanced. This brings me to a screen with 3 tabs in it: Requisition Entry, Requisition Details and Product Explorer. At the top you've got a number of buttons. Save, which saves a requisition when you've completed it. Clear will clear the items that you've typed in. You would either do this at the end, or if you've made a mistake you can click Clear to clear all the items you've selected. Open will open an existing requisition. You can do a print preview. Documents allows you to attach supporting documents such as quotations and so on to your requisition. The Tax Clearance Certificate Check button allows you to check a supplier's tax compliance. Funds Check and Funds Check results allow you to check that there is sufficient funds in your budget to buy what you want to buy. And you can add this item to the shortcuts by clicking on Add to Shortcuts. You can also look at your shortcuts by clicking on the shortcut, My Shortcuts button as such. And at the moment there's only one there at the minute. Let's add that Procurement Requisitions Advanced to our shortcut menu for future reference. Add it to shortcut, message is confirmed there. This is something you only need to do once. The Requisition Entry screen or tab contains a number of items which are already completed for you, such as your name will appear here under Requisitioner. The status is always active, you don't need to change that. The period will show the current accounting period or month. Currently it's showing April 2015. RCT contract is not available in this case. Over on the delivery area here we'll see that under delivery contact we've got a delivery date, which is today's date. A drop-down list for addresses into DIT. There's an area here that will populate with the address, and then there's 2 further items that we need to complete: delivery description and delivery attention. We will go through these in a bit more detail now. You don't need to fill out all these fields, but some of them are mandatory. Supplier is the first one that you'll choose. You'll notice when you click into the supplier field that it does contain a magnifying glass indicating that it will text search whatever you type in. We want to buy, in this example we're going to buy some stationery from our contracted supplier, which is Office Depot. If you know the Office Depots, or if you know any supplier's 4-digit supplier ID, you can type that straight in, but if you're not aware of it you can do a set text search. I will type in the word office and you'll notice that it comes up with all companies that are on the suppliers list with the word office included in their title. I'll scroll down and I'll pick Office Depot as the supplier of stationery for DIT. It fills out that box with the supplier code or supplier ID, which is 4878. Next of all, you need to fill out your work order code. Your work order, as you've dealt with before in a previous lesson, is currently considered just to be your sub-account code. So if I were to type in my sub-account code DF01, that would work. Otherwise I can again do a text search on my work order code. I know that Phil Kenna is the budget holder for this work sub-account, so I will type in Kenna. And there we are, Mount Street Unit, Training Unit. Next of all, I want to pick an address, which will be Ainger Street. So in the drop-down list here of list of DIT sites, I will look for Ainger Street. And then clicking into the address field, you can notice that it populates the address for me. That is not editable, you can leave that as it is. The final 2 boxes that need to be filled out here are delivery description and delivery attention. In delivery description, if you do have a goods inwards officer, please note this here. In this case it's Mark in Ainger Street, goods inwards officer, and the delivery attention is the person who the goods are actually for. So in this case it's myself, Niall Dixon, and indicate perhaps where I am based. That concludes this part of the entry for the supplier information, the work order or the sub-account, the delivery address and so on. I'll move on now to the requisition details, and this is where we'll indicate the items we want to purchase. In this case I want to purchase a number of stationery items, which are contract items, and I will initially click into the first cell below product, the field heading product. Again, we're into a text search situation where I can just search for suspension files, and just by typing SUS it has found a number of hits there, and I'm going to pick that first item, SB0014 PK50 suspension files Eco GRN Fuels Cap. When I click into the quantity box, it completes a number of items for me. It completes the description, the unit, in other words how they're packed, the supplier is also brought forward, the delivery date being today's date, the quantity I need to tell it, so I'll put in 10. And the unit price $6.99, it recalculates the total price of the order to date, or so far, and that's €69.90. What we do not see on this screen is the VAT rate. That'll come later. In the middle part of the screen, there's an area called Detailed Information. This will tell us some of further details about the product, and you notice here under Product Text, it says that the Office Depot code is 8182280, and they're boxed in 50s. You don't need to change anything here. That remains as is. Let's put another product in. This time I want to buy tape measure, a tape dispenser. We'll go for this product here, OD Universal Tape 25mm by 33mm by 6. Again, when I click into the quantity box, just be careful to let the screen refresh, as that will bring up the price, which is the contract price, 87 cents in this case. I'd like a dozen of those, so I put 12 as the quantity, and this will recalculate the total amount, 10.44. And the overall value of this order to date is now €80.34. Other things to notice on this screen before I save it are that we can do a funds check at this stage before we save the order to ensure that we have enough funds to purchase this particular set of items. Clicking on Funds Check will then indicate with a green tick box under the Funds Check column that yes, there are sufficient funds to buy this. As well as that, you can also do a tax clearance certificate check on this particular supplier by a single click, and we get the message here indicating TCC check is successful, so we're okay to proceed with this particular order. We will now just save this order by clicking on the Save button. And our final successful part to this lesson is that we now know that the requisition is saved with requisition number 70000-16160. That concludes this lesson on how to create a simple requisition.